I was born on my grandfather's farm in a little town in upstate New York, near the St. Lawrence River. It was during a severe thunderstorm, and my aunts, Marcia and Lucia, had to walk about a mile to the farmhouse to summon the doctor from Alexandria Bay. By the time he arrived, I was already born, thanks to the able hands of my aunt, the family's registered nurse. Growing up during the Great Depression, I was always surrounded by family, especially during the ins and outs of different jobs and moving transitions. The first 5 years I lived with Grandma and Grandpa Coon, picking strawberries in the patch with them, strolling up the lane to the barn. We would also pick mushrooms, and Grandma would fry them in butter that she churned herself. Oh, she loved mushrooms. During those early years when the bakery truck came through, Grandma would buy a few special pastries. There was one time I found a dollar bill in the driveway. Grandma asked all the drivers if anyone had lost a dollar, back then when a dollar was worth something. No one claimed it, so Grandma said I could have it. I was in awe. Just imagine, what could I buy? It was decided I would buy a pair of shoes from Montgomery Ward. When you could buy a pair of shoes for $1, well, she probably had to put something a little extra. My grandfather and father taught me to read. I had more lessons from them. In second grade at another country school near the Dixon farm, where my father was a sharecropper. Then we moved to number 4. My father was cutting logs. Father was laid up for a period of time after cutting his foot. In the woods, I had a tutor, Mary Smith, who was friends with my mom, being stuck there together with all. So this one time we were going to go sledding on a big long hill called Stillwater Hill. Mom and Mary were there, and my sister and I would take turns sledding with one of them. Well, then Mom and Mary decided they wanted to go together, and we could just stay at the top of the hill. So they went, and my sister and I at the top of the hill thought they were never coming back. All of a sudden, here comes a team of horses with a couple of men pulling probably wood or some machinery. I don't know what they were hauling. We were so scared. Where was my mother? Well, here was Mom and Mary on the sled, the team pulling the sled behind them. Anyway, we made a lot of friends back then, especially with all the moving we did back and forth during the Depression years. Being surrounded by so many people at a young age carried with me throughout my whole life. This is the first time I've ever lived alone throughout my 92 years in this world. I mean, I've been married 3 times. I've had a great life. I've lived during the Great Depression, lived through World War II. I have 6 children. I have 5 stepchildren. I depend on my stepchildren as much as I do my own. I have 26 grandchildren. 13 mine or 13 are my late husband's. We both had large families. I'm coming up on 93 years of life, and I've made a number of friends and memories along the way. I mean, this was really cornball stuff, but that's what we did.